Hi, my name is Sarah Hutchins, and this is my introduction video for Module 1. Personal demographics. Again, my name is Sarah Hutchins. I teach on a military post, and in my 3 years of teaching, I've taught at the same school and in the same grade level of 5th grade. So very consistent. My personal goals is to become a reading specialist. I have always loved instructing math, and it's always come very smooth and very easy, and intervention I think always just was simple in my mind. It made a lot of sense, but something I always struggled with was reading. How do you teach it well? How do you teach it in an engaging manner, as well as writing? But when students need intervention, what are the data-proven techniques and strategies that you should use to benefit them? So that's why I'm kind of going for my reading specialist degree, to either be a reading specialist or to just implement those practices in the gen ed classroom. With data collection, I think it can sometimes feel like this, where you don't really know what's going on, you're being floated around, and admin's telling you one thing, and the other teachers you've worked with are telling you they do this other thing, and then you have your own personal system. So I think overall it can feel very overwhelming, and sometimes you can feel kind of helpless in the matter, like there's not enough time, there's just, I can't do it all, you know? I can't escape the flying saucer. For my own personal and district systems, my district is relatively small. It's 3 elementary schools and 1 junior high school, and they're all military kids. So they're here for just 1 school year for a majority of the time. We have over 50% turnaround every year. And their process is very cut and dry. We do STAR testing at the beginning, middle, and end of year. 5th grade also does in between them, like interim. So we do it beginning of year, halfway, and then Christmas, and then a little bit more, and we do that, and then end of year. So we have 5 STAR testing in all as 5th grade for ELA, or reading, and math. Then we take all the data. Every teacher in every grade level takes their data and they post it on a data wall to see where all the students are. Are they growing? Are they going down? And then what's the overall grade level percentage of proficiency for both subjects. Then of course we have curriculum testing, where we have beginning, middle, and end of year tests provided by our curriculum, which is Wonders for ELA and Go Math for math. My personal process definitely has a bit of a lack of consistency. I teach all of the subjects in 5th grade. They stay in my room all day as well, besides specials. So I don't have a consistent process for like science collection and math and reading, and that's something that I would really like to try and you know, hammer down. But when I do collect that data and I look at it, we then implement it into our WIN time, which is a building-wide implementation, which stands for what I need. So if we get this data from this math standard of subtracting fractions, then we break them into groups of who was successful in this standard and who was not successful in this standard. And then we, do tier support for that and provide either enrichment or reteach. And then our pacing guide is provided by the district and is very fast. So the thing with WIN time is that you can't, we work on those skills that they need extra practice on, but in our regular pacing guide, we have to continue. So if they didn't understand adding fractions, we can work on that in WIN time, but we have to move on to subtracting fractions. You've got to keep going. And that's just kind of how the district asks us to follow. How I would like to improve would be consistency across all content areas. I want it to be similar and the same. And then I want it to be quick and easy, because if it's not quick and easy, it's not going to get done. And I want to make sure my PLC time is dedicated to looking at the data within 48 hours. I went on a PD trip that the school provided this summer, and one of the talks was saying that data dies in 48 hours. If you haven't done something within that time window, it's done. And I kind of see that, if you wait too long to grade a test and review the data as a team, it's almost, I don't want to say it's too late, but it feels almost like a moot point because you're already halfway through the next standard or unit, etc. So those are all the things I want to improve on. As far as my correlation, I really pulled out the words to demonstrate and lead. No one can lead without prior looking at what current systems are in place and knowing what you would do to improve them. So I think it was good to have a refresh of what I currently do, what the district currently does, and improve upon them. Relevancy. This assignment is like the control within a science experiment. It allows us to look at current practices so we can later, once it's done, once we finish the course, reflect on the knowledge we've learned and the growth that we have made. And then personal reflection. This gave me a good refresh reminder, because it is summertime, of what I do in my classroom, what are all the things that I'm kind of up against, and what are the things I have to keep in mind and consider. And it's also going to give me the opportunity to watch other students' videos and learn what they do and see what they have in place. And compared to more or less experience, where do I fall in my data collection journey and what can I learn from them? So overall, thank you, and I'm excited to see y'all's presentations.